Ah, the North London Derby. The football match that splits families, ends friendships, and gives Arsenal fans one more reason to troll Spurs supporters for the next 6 months. In the latest chapter of this storied rivalry, Arsenal edged Tottenham 2-1 in a game that had drama, goals, and, of course, a classic Spurs implosion. From Son Heung-min's deflected opener to Solanke's own goal, yes, another Spurs gift, and Trossard's clinical finish, this match had it all. Well, all except for Tottenham fans' hopes and dreams. Let's dive into the chaos and see why Arsenal fans are smiling, Spurs fans are crying, and neutrals are laughing. 1. The goals. Arsenal 2. Tottenham 1. Let's break down the goals, shall we? First up, Son Heung-min gave Spurs the lead with a deflected shot. Some might call it skill, others might call it luck. Either way, it's Tottenham, so we all knew this lead wouldn't last. Then came the equalizer. A thing of beauty if you're an Arsenal fan, or an absolute nightmare if you're Dominic Solanke. A perfectly delivered Arsenal corner, and boom! Solanke forgets which team he's playing for. Own goal. Arsenal fans cheer. Spurs fans collectively face palm. And just before halftime, Arsenal completed the turnaround. Thomas Partey intercepted a sloppy Spurs pass, Odegaard served up a perfect assist, and Trossard slotted it home like a man who had zero doubts. Meanwhile, Tottenham's defense? They looked like they were auditioning for Dancing with the Stars. 2. First half. Spurs start strong. Arsenal take over. Spurs actually started the game well. Shocking, I know. Son's goal gave them a reason to hope. But then Arsenal found their rhythm. And by rhythm, I mean, let's bombard Spurs with corners until something goes in. Dominic Solanke's own goal was the turning point. After that, Arsenal smelled blood. Trossard's goal just before halftime felt like the football equivalent of flipping the Monopoly board when you're losing. Game over. 3. Second half. Arsenal. Hold on, Spurs hit the post. The second half? Well, Arsenal controlled possession like a kid hogging the PlayStation controller. But for all their dominance, they couldn't find a third goal to seal the deal. Spurs, to their credit, tried to mount a comeback. Pedro Porro even hit the post late in the game. Close, but as Spurs fans know all too well, close doesn't win matches. Arsenal's defense held firm, with Gabriel Magalhães leading the charge. Gabriel played like a man who didn't want to hear any Tottenham slander at the next family barbecue. 4. Fan reactions, jubilation and frustration. Arsenal fans were, of course, ecstatic, but leave it to Gooners to celebrate with a side of critique. We won, but why are we still relying on set pieces, they ask, sipping their overpriced coffee in North London cafes. Still, with this win, Arsenal are just 4 points behind Liverpool in the title race. Hope springs eternal. Spurs fans, on the other hand, are not okay. With their 11th defeat of the season, they're now closer to the relegation zone than a European spot. The calls for Ange Postecoglou to fix it are getting louder, and honestly, who can blame them? Watching Spurs defend is like watching a toddler try to build a sandcastle during high tide, messy and doomed to collapse. And the neutrals? Oh, they loved it. Nothing beats the drama of a North London derby. Arsenal's set-piece dominance, Tottenham's defensive chaos, and near misses like Porro's post hit kept them glued to their screens. Well, that and the memes flooding Twitter. 5. Tactical breakdown. Arteta versus Postecoglou. Now let's talk tactics. Mikel Arteta deserves credit for his set-piece obsession. It's clearly working. But even Arsenal fans are side-eyeing the over-reliance. What's next? Practicing throw-ins for goals? One fan joked on Reddit. As for Ange Postecoglou, his high defensive line is getting more criticism than a new Netflix adaptation. If you're going to play a risky strategy, you need players who can handle the pressure. Spoiler, Spurs don't have them. 6. Manager reactions. Arteta and Postecoglou speak out. After the game, Mikel Arteta praised his team's resilience but admitted they need to be more clinical. Translation? We won, but if we keep missing chances, I'm going to lose my hairline, again. Ange Postecoglou, meanwhile, didn't hold back. Nowhere near good enough, he said. Which is manager speak for, we were a mess, and I'm thinking of sending the defense to a week-long boot camp. 7. Implications for the season. This win keeps Arsenal's title hopes alive. They're only 4 points behind Liverpool, and with a little luck and maybe fewer injuries, they could be serious contenders. But they'll need to find creativity outside of corners if they want to go all the way. For Spurs, it's another nail in the coffin of a disappointing season. Sitting in 13th place, the dream of European football is fading fast. At this rate, they're more likely to visit the Championship than the Champions League. Closing thoughts. Arsenal laugh, Spurs cry. So, there you have it. Another chapter in the North London Derby saga. Arsenal get the bragging rights, Spurs get the misery, and football fans everywhere get the drama they came for. What's next for these two teams? Will Arsenal close the gap on Liverpool? Can Spurs salvage their season, or will they continue their slide into mediocrity? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like and subscribe for more satirical takes on football. Until next time, keep the banter alive.